Let's talk a little more about serial numbers and serial number control. Once you've established serial control and you've got inventory on hand that has serial numbers, you need to be able to query up that information. So from your inventory responsibility, you can go down to on-hand availability, scroll down to serial numbers, and open this form. In this case, you can query based on an item or any other variations of the item information. Here we see we have two serial numbers that are established within our system. We can see that they're currently residing in stock and they are active. They're in the sub-inventory called stores. And we don't have any supplier information linked to them, but we could have had we collected that during the receiving process. There are currently no unit numbers associated with them, just the serial numbers. If you wish to see the transactions that created the serial numbers, you can click on the Transactions button. This opens up our Transactions form, which is our very common form that we use for quite a few queries in inventory. We can see that the transaction type associated with this serial number was the account alias, and that was a receipt into stores for a quantity of 2. We can see the lot serial information. In this case, there were 2 entered, but we're only looking at the 1 serial number. If I were to drill down from this record, I would see this different serial number. So we have a way of correlating our transaction history to our serial numbers. This is very excellent for traceability. If you work in an environment that requires traceability down to a serial level, this is very, very helpful. You can also view genealogy. What this shows is the serial details and the material transactions associated with those serial numbers. And again, we could see on hand any reservations or any grades if grades were associated with the serial number. This is more important when you have situations where you have serialized items that are created from perhaps lot controlled or other serial controlled items, or if you have componentry that's going into work orders where the top assembly may or may not be serial controlled, but certain components of it are. You can see where that material goes based on the transaction history of those serial numbers. So as we can see, Oracle provides quite a bit of information regarding serial numbers. It is a bit of an overhead to use serial numbers or lot control in general, but the traceability it provides can be very useful in situations where you have material that you need to control, such as food or drugs, specialized componentry, things like aircraft engines, medical equipment, medical devices, and any pharmaceuticals. So that concludes this section on serial control.